Okay, I'm going to click on Grove. Sometimes you'll get this extra login screen. And here we are. I'm going to work on a radio episode. Notice that on my screen I have stuff that I've worked on recently down here, and I can determine what I'm looking at by selecting items here. Anyway, I'm going to go over to radio episode. Let's say I'm going to add something for Women's Focus. Click on this, and it looks like I've worked on Women's Focus recently. I'm not going to worry about, and I selected it. I'm not going to worry about season or episode number. The title of this is going to be My How To for WF. Okay, My How To for Women's Focus. I could enter a description. Steps for making a radio episode post. All right, I could use the description. Notice that as I typed in the description over here in this preview page, I see what I typed. Okay, all sorts of interesting capitalization there. Darn fingers. I can, if I needed more space, I could get rid of this preview by clicking on what looks like an eyeball up here. Bonk. I like the preview right now, so I'm going to go back to it. Boom. Takes a few seconds for the preview to update what I've put in there. I generally say don't show the description. The description can show up like if you're posting this to Facebook and next to the picture there's usually like a line describing what you're posting. That's where this My How To for WF would go. I don't want to show the description on the page of the post because I might use that same line for the first line of my body copy. There are a lot of ways to do this, but I'll show you one basic way here. So once I type in the title, then I just did a description. The slug is automatically filled in based on the title that I gave it. Now let's see if this episode has audio associated. I would click here and select the audio from the library, either from here, recently used, or I could search in the library by clicking this magnifying glass. You'll also notice that at the top of this list was something called Create New. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab something that already exists since this is a demo. Magnifying glass to the search. The search is already, there are a lot of different filters you can put into this search. You can search anything right here. You can also search anything up here too. In this case, it's already, since I'm coming into looking for audio, it has prepped the query for just audio. And here's something that I used yesterday for a test, and so I'm going to click on it. Once I click on it, it shows up in my primary audio. I see the listen button show up in my preview. We're good for the audio. Now let's go pick a visual. Primary visual, I'm going to say image. And now I'm going to click on then it gives me a field to fill in. I'm going to click on the name. In this case, I think what I'll do is I'll try to, sorry. In this case, what I'm going to do is add a new file. And look at this. Once I click here, or if I had clicked on this magnifying glass, it's searching for images, but at the bottom, it gives me the option to create a new image. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click this new image. And I'll find an image. I'm looking on my screen now. Dog nose. This is the internal name of my file. I'm going to choose the file from my desktop. Click choose. And I'm looking at my desktop has some images, and I created one called Luna, after my dog. So let's see if I can find that. There it is. Boom. Luna. If there was caption info, credit info, and this kind of thing embedded into the photo, it would have this. Otherwise, I can include this. I'm going to credit the person who took this photo, and I don't have the date taken or any of that. So notice also there's something that says click inside the image to set a focus point for all sizes. That might become useful for you. Right now, most of the time, if I select a focus point, it's going to be right between the eyes on this image. This one, because the nose is so important, I'm going to pull it down just a little bit and say that's the focus point. Okay. Then I'm going to click Save. And then you'll see, and this happens with other types of media, once I saved the changes I made, it shows that I've updated this item and created it. I'm going to click this link, and then I'm going to go back browser, and you'll see that the item is here, ready to go. The next thing I'll want to do here is select an author. In this case, it's going to be me. And I'm probably in here somewhere. See if I can. CLUM. There I am. Okay, Tristan Klum. If I wanted to get rid of what I just typed, let's say I put the wrong person, I can simply click minus, and that will not be shown. Okay, you see my preview is changing as I do that. If I unclick the minus in a moment, it's going to add Ed Williams' bio there. I'm going to erase it again. And here is where I can put in my body copy. Type in whatever you want. And know that if you're copying and pasting content from an outside source, unlike many content management systems, this will carry the formatting into the website and does a great job with formatting. So you can copy and paste stuff directly in here, and it's really what you see is what you get, which is a real blessing for such things. So those are the basic tools for typing. Primary section, in the case of Women's Focus, it will be volunteer-produced public affairs. That is useful for organizing content on the site. None of this needs to be added. I don't need a secondary section. I'm not using revisions. We're not going over that right now. The source is automatically filled in as KUNM. And I basically completed my post. So now, as I go, you'll notice my work in progress is saved. If I click away from this, right now, that list I showed you in the beginning that had some of the stuff that I'm working on, this post will show up there. I can also invoke a save at any point using that disk button to save the item. Now it has saved it as a draft. If I was ready to publish this, I would look at the workflow button here and I would publish it, publish override. A workflow describes the manner of work for mainly an editorial system where an editor overlooks your content before you post. And so we could have a workflow that has that person saying, hey, take a look at this. I changed the X and such up here in comments, and submitting it. And the content would show up in the editor's queue, and then that editor would make edits and then publish it. Right now, we could select Publish Override, and this would be published onto the site. Don't want to do that right now because this is a fake women's focus post, but that's how you do it.